slow you up on your recruitment process.
Thank you.
So if we could have a motion for a 1-week continuance to allow the sheriff and I to work through this with our staff, and we'll return back with some recommendations next Tuesday.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for 1-week continuance of this item. Any discussion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Pass unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Sheriff. And
Thank you,
I do
Sheriff.
speak for the board. You do have our commitment. Public safety.
And this room gets awful lonely when there's no big issues on there.
You're a big issue to us, too.
Yeah. Okay, one last item, I believe, to the CEO.
Actually, a couple of small cleanup items.
Okay.
I do have before me a declaration of a local area emergency as prepared by our OES staff. I will be signing that local area declaration. We will be returning to your board on the 15th for the board to formally adopt it. This will give us the opportunity to seek inclusion in the governor's latest declarations that may possibly make us eligible for some funding reimbursement for the crews that were out from DOT for that lengthy period of time, and also possibly give the opportunity for some local agencies to seek reimbursement also. So I will be signing that, and it says that while the board is in open session, I notified the board that as the director of OES that I would be signing that document and bringing it back to formal adoption next Tuesday, the 15th. I guess the other part of the executive report we didn't get to, two small items. We're going to be including under the CEO reports in the future. Several other department heads will be giving you reports similar to what you've gotten from Department of Transportation and the Planning Director. There's a great deal of activity going on in GSA. Your GSA director and I meet every week, and we currently have almost a 4-page list of items that we're reviewing every week. And I think it's time that the board see some of those activities that are going on too. So we're just we'll be bringing that report forward to you. In addition, we've also are undertaking several initiatives having to do with ambulances in accordance with your board's direction at budget hearings, and we have a meeting scheduled tomorrow to start some of those discussions with, I believe, our emergency services staff in the sheriff's office, and also we will be including the EMS agency folks. Microwave tomorrow, it's my intent to tell our representative Thompson when he's here that thank you very much for the $500,000, but I'd like another $500,000 next year. So we're going to be pitching that we had to move ahead at this project because of the fact it was time critical. It had a year's time period to construct and build it, but we funded it based on the fact of the time schedule, but we do need additional funding over the next 5 years. So we're going to continue to ask for allocations on microwave. And finally, just so the board knows that your county council and I met with water agency director and asked him to make a call to the Department of Fish and Game to discuss the closure of the gate at the Mill Creek Dam. We'd like some resolution on that. Your board is scheduled to hear a EIR in probably the first or second week in February, but there's precious water going down the creek, and so we're asking the Department of Fish and Game whether we can go ahead and close that gate early without jeopardizing our EIR process. And that concludes my compliments. It's been a lovely day.
Supervisor Delbar, do you have a comment?
Mr. Chairman, yes, thank you. In regard to Mill Creek, and I'm not sure how fast bureaucracy is going to move with Fish and Game, but it may not move concurrent with the weather patterns. So I would hope that we don't lose an opportunity to capture that excess runoff while the creek itself is still running. We have a responsibility here that goes above and beyond the paperwork of an EIR.
Right. I understand your point, and I know the concern, but I can't support violating a permit that we have right now, and all of the work that we've done and the negotiations we've had with the state, and then we turn around and we go ahead and behind their backs and shut the gate. I can't see us
Well,
doing that.
Though-
So I've suggested to Roland, and he's sent an email to Fish and Game asking for permission and explaining the concerns about the weather at this point and how we can go ahead and fill it. And I'm hopeful that may resolve the issue.
I've seen the email, and I appreciate your comments, by all means, as legal counsel, but we also have a responsibility to fill that and do it